Should be open. It's locked. Oh, I just walked in. Okay. Okay. Because Mark went upstairs, so I just assumed the door was open. I got you. Let's see if my key works.
Your fish fry was a success. We stopped in and had supper.
Oh, you were there? Behind the church hall.
Yeah. He was the one making the good stuff.
Yeah, I saw Linda and Vicky.
How you like that fish?
Yeah, it's good.
Sly.
Huh?
Sly. S-W-A-I. Sly. We used to do Politic apparently, and, several years ago, the guy that we buy it from said, you know, hey, I got something you have to try. Sure, let's try it.
It is, I think it tastes better than
the best fish I have ever tasted.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fish guy. I mean, I like salmon and things like that, but Sly is just
Buy it by the blocks frozen.
oh yeah.
So, the shrimp, where did that come from?
Cisco?
Because somebody said it tasted different.
No.
Was it?
No.
Okay.
Same thing we got last year, year before that.
Oh, okay. I mean, we ran out, but
Yeah, we're gonna try to adjust that.
I think you said somebody said that it tasted more breaded or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, it all turned out just about right. How do you know from one time to the next?
Oh yeah.
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 Well, you definitely didn't walk away from there hungry.
No,
That's
that
good.
That was good.
Well,
Scott Strong, Pastor.
good for all.
Cancer.
I'll be there.
They told me a week or so ago upstairs that
Morning, Todd.
Morning. Morning.
Scott, is everybody to
And then my sister, I had lunch with my sister yesterday. She didn't see her.
How old is it? How old was it?
That's too bad.
Yeah, so anyway, must have been. Nothing to do or whatever, I don't know.
By the way, you guys saw the registration's open for the Kansas Commissioners Convention
For-
Conference.
And then,
Mhm.
That's on the KAC website.
So how's Todd doing?
Pretty good, how about y'all?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Never better.
Got your Jayhawk going?
You betcha.
Alright. Next couple of wins and we're back in play.
See what happens. Red flag warning today.
down the wind.
Oh, really?
It's supposed to be 70s though all week, I think.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
We handle that.
I said it'll probably turn cold next week and ask for a break.
So when spring break is it?
It's next week.
Yes.
And there's Tara. Hello.
Kurt just messaged me, he's gonna come at 10:30, that's not on there, so I can type that in.
Okay.
Who does the payroll register?
I usually check the email.
Please, I think that's it. Oh, not quite it. Couple more things. Just a weekly packet.
Oh, okay.
And this is all of
All right.
this.
question here from the first district commissioners. What do we use for a keeping system here in Kenner? Appreciate it.
You bet.
Courthouse, road and bridge.
As far as that payroll,
Yeah, how do you block them out? Do they block them out?
the office person that keeps track and gets into the system, can cover herself in and out on her phone on the computer.
You know what the system's called? Time clock plus, okay, there's a couple of them using it, okay. Thank you.
County commissioners. Nope. Is it okay if Kate comes down? Yep.
All right, I've got 9 o'clock, we'll open the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a emergency vehicle application here for lights and sirens, in case anybody wants to see it, for Cody Pruett from Mayetta. Okay. Signed her, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. There we go. Got a payroll change here for Jose Martinez from the Sheriff's Office. You got a promotion. Bunch of abatements assigned here. Or Kate.
Morning, Kate.
You guys want applications as they come in?
Yeah. Thank you.
And I have questions for you.
Okay. Didn't say anything about having answers.
Here, the public hearing on bylaws. Change the number count.
Well, I don't think the planning commission changes its own number count.
Well, you guys have the resolution, but the bylaws say 7 members, so it would just be to correct it to the resolution.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, you don't have to have a public hearing. No.
Okay, but definitely on that.
Yeah, yep.
Is this just for information purposes only?
And also, a couple of things in the solar that they had.
Okay.
I think that probably should say the comprehensive plan land use map, instead
Yep.
of the appraiser's
That's
office.
right.
Okay. And then there were some members that want a baseline reading on wells. Contamination, see if I made it over time.
Okay, so it should, well, you mean there's a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, well, let's see.
And there were certain members that thought that that might be too costly for law. whatever company, but another member said it's right at $35.
Well,
They want a baseline, that they can put that in there.
well, any public water supply already has a requirement to have a 100-foot protective easement around it. It's really hard for me to believe that there's any way that a solar system can contaminate an actual source water issue. Meaning, you're never going to have, I think there's probably a case for fertilizer doing that, and maybe it's the case arguably that some of what we're talking about, but I mean, I would hesitate to say that without somebody professional saying there's a chance for source water contamination for instance. We have no basis for that. We're going to have the cause to test it based on
Courthouse buildings.
just the feel.
These are courthouse buildings.
County building property.
That,
About half of them are wanting like a baseline reading of water wells before
okay.
anything ever happens.
So will they just, okay, so they're basically saying, just take a sample of any wells and then preserve that. Because okay, then the question becomes, how do we force people on zoning properties with wells to submit to the test? Right? I mean, the owner obviously could probably find anything on the property or lease, but what if it's next door and so that won't be good? Well,
Get them in here.
They want, they're not participating.
yeah, I think that's fine. I think that, you know, it'd have to be voluntary to mine it. I don't think you could force a separate landowner to allow testing. So I would say, yeah, if they said, you know, the company would go there and they'd agree to test a sample, then that's great.
And then they were confused about at the appropriate time. So just take that wording out.
Yeah, that doesn't strike me as being very, it's just, well, it's probably self-evident that they're gonna, if they have a source water protection plan, that they're gonna do it. So appropriate time has nothing to do that.
I told them that I would ask you on those things.
Yep, no, I'm glad to do it. Could be improved a lot.
That's it. You need me for anything?
That's it?
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll think of something.
Okay.
Yeah, that was too easy.
She really wants to see
Thank
it.
you. I don't know how many of you guys got a second? I don't know how many of you, I try to keep up on the misinformation that's posted around out there on the internet, you know. We're being accused right now of hoarding $14 million. Yeah, and I didn't like the tone of one of the answers, so I guess Daddy's gonna answer here, not on the internet. I'm really disappointed in people who put out misinformation, who don't take the time to research the information they put out. if they would have gone on there and looked at the cash carryover balance that we have, it's not $14 million. It shows like it is, but part of that is non-budgeted funds, which are grants, inmate welfare, juvenile intake fund. It's things that we have no control over. We don't have a levy on that. Our tax levy, funds with our tax levy, came out to $2,420,000, $2,420,123 on funds with a tax levy. The ones that we don't have any control over was $2,042,471, and funds with no tax levy, which is actually income funds, auto tax fee, 911, things like that, came out to $9,797,853. Now included in that, and these are 22 numbers according to the site that was listed on there. The 22 numbers were actually for 21. And in that was capital improvement, which was $7,871,475. In that capital improvement is for the whole county, all departments. So what that is the clerk's office is going to have to buy new election machines. They need a new server last year. They're a savings account that they try to budget each year to have money in their account to purchase these things so that they don't have to, oh, next year I need $50,000 to purchase something, so my budget's going to have to increase $50,000. You know what that's going to do? That's going to increase your taxes. Now, if that's what people want, you know, they can do that. We got compared to Jefferson County, which I didn't include Jefferson County in the comparison that I did about 6 months ago. Okay, 6 months ago I did a comparison because in our budget meeting I got asked why we are so high compared to Allen County and Barber County and counties that really have no comparison to us. So I compared the counties around us: Brown, Nemaha, Atchison, Pot, and Jackson. I didn't include Jefferson in that. I can go back and do it. But what you folks out there need to understand is it's not the mill levy that kills you. And in comparison to these counties around us, our mill levy is much higher than those for the county. But then by the time you add in the townships for the other counties that I have compared us to, guess what? We're pretty darn close. And there again, like I said, it is not the mill levy that kills you, it is the value of the mills. So of the 5 counties that I listed here, we sit number 3 as far as taxes. Number 3 as far as taxes. In 2023, and I'll send this to anybody that wants it, give it to anybody that wants it. It's all public information. I went out and found it. Our mill levy in 2023 was 72.45. The county mill levy, and I'll just throw one out there, for Atchison County was 51.57. Oh, but then you throw in 12.32 mills for the townships, and that was an average of the townships. I just took the average. And that comes up to be approximately 63.89 mills. They're a lot lower than a mill levy, right? But then by the time that you figure in what an average mill equals, in Jackson County, 1 mill equaled $152,835. You go to Atchison County then, you know what theirs was? $214,114. That's a heck of a difference. Isn't it? I think it is. So you cannot look at the mill levy and say, my God, my taxes are too high. You have to look what one mill equals to say that. And, you know, like I said, according to information that's out there, that came from the budgets of each county that I looked at, we sit number 3 out of all 5 of these counties. I really don't know how to get across the misinformation that's put out there hurts everybody.
You're not going to, Mark.
I agree, but it just gets me
You can
that folks can go out and say whatever they want to on the internet with no consequences, and yet it comes back and makes us look bad, makes everybody look
It
bad.
doesn't make us look bad because we know what the truth is.
And trying to get the truth out there is just not there.
You can use the words, it appears, I believe.
I
I've been told.
heard.
So.
And it's just bull. It's absolute bull. You know, I got here one more piece of data from the site that was listed. County property tax change from 22 to 23 in local property taxes. And one of the counties that was cited in there by this gentleman who got on and started spouting this stuff off was a comparison between Jackson and Jefferson. The percent of change for Jackson was 5.4%. Percent of change for Jefferson was 6.5%. Now, if they have a higher mill levy, so guess what? They're going to be paying more taxes. It just doesn't make sense to me that folks will get out there and stir the pot without ever taking the time to do the research. It upsets me. How can we fix this? We can't. Until people actually start listening and start actually doing some research to see what is going on, ask questions. Like I say, Daddy's answering right now. I'm just sick of this. The misinformation is put out there with no recourse, no consequences. So I'll get down off my soapbox now, but it just burns me. So, Scott, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I think I walked into something.
No, just normal BS. That's it. What you got?
All right, Hoyt and Holton have both set up their cleanup dates for May the 3rd. We already committed to Hoyt to do the household hazardous waste trailer down there, so we will be there on May the 3rd. Still, you know, if people have stuff here in Holton, they can always bring it down to the recycling center. Back in, I believe it was November, we talked about possibly replacing the pickup truck down there at recycling. We've got numbers in now, so is it okay to go ahead and get some bids for the truck?
Yeah, let's get some bids and see what we got.
Okay.
See how we can fit it in the budget.
All right.
I should send this out with
I got LTAP classes, Wednesday, Thursday, so I'll be going down to that in Wichita for 2 days. Did you get a chance to look at those 2 contracts for?
Yeah. Well, I took from the email that you guys are primarily interested in what the LRS contract. I didn't look terribly closely at the hands
Okay.
because of the price difference, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, to me, the reading through the hand contract is getting into be more like waste management. They leave a lot of open doors for fuel costs, surcharges, things like that.
and I think it's very, very, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's-
the other one does not. They've got it, you know,
This is price.
yeah, they did a flat rate for pickup and then so much per ton. And we averaged out the past 2 years, we were 8.38 tons per dumpster, and 23, and 8.58 for 24. So, and then they were $60 a ton, so it averaged out to be about $851 a dumpster. Whereas the new contract with Can was up to 900.
So is that your recommendation to go with?
I think so. Like I said, it's gonna save us some money.
I think competition is always good.
Yes. And,
Contract-wise, I think if you add those standard terms and conditions that we have, I don't know if you're familiar with that, if we have we created a form along with it, just as, things that we have to have in it to comply with a couple laws. If they attach that, I mean, this is a very standard commercial agreement for them, except they blocked their increase. So the only thing, I didn't see anything particular that jumped out at me as issue, or just, you know, the usual stuff that you would probably do with that attachment fee. You have to give them, you know, notice before you terminate, and they did.
Pretty standard.
Yeah. The only thing I noted too, there was a right to compete, which doesn't seem like it's a bad thing. That it's just a thing to know that if somebody tries to come in and cut them at a renewal point, that you gotta give them a chance to match it. That's that, like, you know, basically they're saying you don't, you know, if you get a better offer, at least show it to us.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, there again, competition.
Yeah, that's, so, that doesn't seem like a bad thing, it's just one of those things to note, so that we don't get a contract in here and just kind of roll it.
When do you want this to start?
We'd have to get with these LRS and see what their time frame is.
You want action on that today so that we can move ahead with it?
I think we could, yeah.
So you're recommending we go with LRS for haulage service from the
And
landfill?
they are a 2-year contract.
Okay.
Other than this 3. They will not automatically renew like the other one.
Yeah.
So they will talk to us before we renew this.
Okay.
And they do have a 7% increase, is what they got per year, which comes up to about $51.
I'd probably say if you guys want to approve, you can do motion to approve pending the acceptance of standard terms and conditions that are out of County.
Do I hear a motion?
So the motion to approve the LRS.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve the LRS contract for haulage from the landfill with contingent upon approval of standard, what was that term? Terms and conditions. Okay, for the county. All in favor, any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carried.
Brown County, we've been back and forth with them about if they're going to do HHW with us this year. They decided not to do that, so we're getting all of our paperwork up to date, taking all their information out. So.
Did we have any equipment over there as far as for storage or anything?
No.
Okay.
Are they gonna do it themselves then?
So they say, but they said they can do it cheaper, and so we've contacted KDH and let them know that we're not taking up there anymore, so they'll have to take care of it also. We've got that A1 contract for our alarms out here again coming up, that we're still paying on. We did find something in Love Mary, where she's been just tearing things up. She ran across the original contract that's stating if it's not in our budget that we can get out of this contract. So to me, for 2026, if we don't figure money in the budget, then we should be able to get us out of this contract.
And I thought we were gonna, because the last time I think it was that we didn't give enough notification timeline, or?
That was, they came in to add something to the server to go to the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
form.
And that automatically,
And Bryson signed it, and that automatically put us in for another 5 years.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then if that's in the original contract says that, I would say
I'd
we
like
still
to
budget it
pass that along to you.
What's the idea here?
for the alarm service.
Skip.
We don't use that alarm service, and we haven't for probably 3 years, but we're still paying for it because it's under contract. We'd like to get out of it. And like I said, Mary ran across this original contract here today, and was saying, you know, if it's not funded in the budget for the year, then we can't get out, and it says December 31st, so. That's right. I think we'd still have to pay it. December at least.
And you probably have something in your files down there,
That lead one.
that Lee's put in there about this.
Well, this is well done. I mean, it's cash basis. It's not appropriation. I mean, essentially, it's not, we put it in the contract now, so everybody's clear about it. It may not have been in this one, but, oh, it was in this one. The language is not the same as it really is. This just says, if you guys decide not to appropriate money to it, so it doesn't say anything about, I mean, the non-appropriation doctrine essentially goes back to the question of whether there are funds there to appropriate. You've got arguably funds available because it's not a big amount of money. You just choose not to appropriate. This language says if you choose not to appropriate, you don't have to. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like I'm going in circles there, but this language is different than what the law says.
So this is an out for us.
Yes, it is now. But if it was just, if they just said, referencing the cash basis law, you know, if you to comply with the cash basis law, you got to do X. That would mean that you guys would have to be basically able to prove you didn't have any money left. This doesn't say.
This just says if you don't appropriate money, then it's, okay, you don't budget money, then you're good, so,
Yep.
all right. That kind of gives you your answer. I would send them a letter too,
Yeah.
I believe, stating that we're not going to renew the contract or on the contract after December 31.
Yeah, you just write them a letter saying that the county commission has indicated they're not going to appropriate funds next year.
Per the original contract, they did such and such.
And according to that page right there, or whatever it is, it's terminated as a revenue.
Okay.
Okay, we got the chip and seal information up to the newspaper last week, so we're running the newspaper this week.
Chip and seal or road stabilization, dust control?
Chip and seal.
Chip and seal.
Yes. We've got to
Okay.
get bids for that. So that was turned in, and we told them we want the bids back on March 21st. To be sealed bids. If they're not sealed, we're not going to accept them. After this was sent out, we talked this morning, Matt, myself, and Brandon, and 254 over there where we put the new bridge in, you know, got it packed in and it'll settle a little bit. We would like to come in and chip and seal over that bridge, the bridge we put in there last year and the tube we put in last year, so that.
How about out here on the old highway? Old highway north where you put the tubes in, what is that? Yeah, Kieffaber.
Okay.
Where you put the tubes in right there, I'm trying to think what road they're between 262 and the S-curves.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, right down by Charles.
Yeah.
Place,
Yeah.
Didn't really think of that, we're thinking more because we just chip and sealed 254 last year, but we can.
Well, I mean, since we're looking at doing that, we might want to fix that patch too, so.
Okay, got with Byron Riley, and he's gonna come out and visit with us tomorrow. Getting our conduits and things put in the ground out there. We're gonna try to get that done Wednesday, Thursday. So get that going.
Does that include the landfill also? Are you putting electricity?
Well, it'll be separate things.
Oh.
Landfill. This is for the fuel tank up here.
I didn't know since he was gonna be here, if he was gonna, do you have that?
I spoke with him about it, and we're supposed to meet down there sometime.
Okay.
Again, it's just scheduled meeting. The dust control now, we talked about, got a price back, you know, on the bid and everything. Last year, for the individuals, we were $1.32 a gallon, and we charged the individuals $1.42 a gallon. Are we gonna do that again this year? A little increase in that? For some labor costs for anything?
I think you ought to increase to offset labor costs, yes.
We charged $1.42 last year.
So we're getting $1.30.
For making 10 cents a gallon. That doesn't cover the cost.
Oh,
of
it
it.
is, no.
Okay.
But it helped clear that a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, if you figure labor cost in there, it'd be outrageous. You know, if you figure, watering, any rock, any, blading time, so, like I said, it's really money. Did talk to Atchison County over there, and they do not do dust control. If the individuals want it, they contact the supplier and go through them. And, they do not water the roads, they do not prep the roads, it's up to the individuals there. And then they're also responsible for putting flags and little placards where their dust control starts and stops. And if their graders happen to go through there and tear it up, then they will repair and fix and respray. But if not, then the graders don't touch that area unless it gets potholes fixed. Just how they run there.
I would look at increasing it, you know, not outrageously, but trying to recoup some of the cost of labor, so.
So, this is $1.42 again this year.
You think, well, like I said, do you want to increase it?
But
I mean, let's-
here's a man that buys it.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess if we're gonna arbitrarily just increase it, I'd like to know, you know, what we're increasing it to.
Well, $1.42 seems kind of an odd figure to me. I mean,
Well,
it just seems
Where
like,
did $1.42 come up at?
yeah, but I mean, 10 cents more than,
$1.42.
but it just seems like if you're gonna do it, let's go with an even number, let's go to $1.50.
That's what I was about to say.
Okay, but again, if we're gonna do that, let's take a look at what the real costs are.
Sure.
And do that. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's been a service that they've been providing, but it, you know.
Well, so let's get,
Just me as a taxpayer side, I don't need dust control, you know, in my place. But yet I'm paying taxes for somebody else to have dust control.
well, let's look and see what the actual cost.
You're not.
Well, it's still, anybody that's in the county, and again, this is a taxpayer talking. Anybody that's in the county paying taxes, some of that portion is going toward dust control for the individuals.
Part of the reason, though, in the conversations we've had over the years, that it's been done by the county is we control the quality of the way it's done. It's our road. I don't know that we necessarily want somebody else coming in and doing it and not getting the same result.
And I agree with that,
It'd be
Keith.
a headache.
I agree with that, especially if they're not prepping the road or doing anything like that.
It makes no sense.
No, and I don't really want somebody else coming in, an individual hiring contractor to come in and grade the road to get it prepped.
Again, as a taxpayer, you get this number figured out, is that what we charge?
No, that's not what I'm saying, but I believe what Keith's saying, what I'm saying is, let's get a number so we can compare and say, you know, we're recouping this much. It's basically what it is. No, we're not gonna recoup the whole thing.
Because the other part of this that you have to look at is that it's a benefit to the county because they're not having to blade those
Yeah.
areas, and it's preserving the gravel in those areas. It's not going away. So tell me how you figure that out.
Yeah. Because you're keeping people off the, keeping graders off the roads for the whole summer. They're not having to spend time here, they're spending time elsewhere, so.
Okay, back to public works. Get that number. We had a few calls in on 270 and Q4 up here, about some undermining on it too. So we are gonna get that on our list to get fixed here immediately. The 214 road, past the, over here,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
214 past the chip and seal there. Blade operator's sick today, so I really can't ask him the question of why he did this, but he went in and pulled mud and crud up out of the ditch last week, and it's in the road, so I'm sure there's some people that
Who's the operator?
Ethan Benson. So, like I
He
said,
works from there north. side? East.
east.
Okay.
So, like I said, we will have a talk with him when he comes back.
So is somebody gonna run over there?
Bob, sorry, should already be down there. I figured you guys may get a few phone calls on that one. Okay, we'll be down on the trees down there on K Road this week. Get those all cleaned up. We've got some rock going out on 270 west of Soldier over here. Mulching over on B south of 278. Got the area picked out of there in Soldier now where we marked the grader. Over Alan's shop, there at Alan's shop. He's gonna allow us to park there, so we're gonna fuel tank and some rock all over there for that. The motor grader up in that area has a wheel hub that's gone out, so Bryson parked in that will have it for out this week and hopefully fix the grader.
So, in the meantime, if that grader's down, what's the operator gonna do?
Well, we've got the other grader. We have the other grader.
Okay, so he is gonna,
I'm
okay,
gonna go down 13th and go.
great, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's-
Well,
Well, yeah.
Got a salt sand spreader, we got a little damage to it, I think backed into a snow drift when we turned around, so Dodge pickup's down here getting the depth pump put on it. Got Becky and John running down on 102's STP. We're still having internet problems out there, it's slow, and Mary and Jennifer pulling their hair out, they talked to Giant, and Giant says, well, all we did is put cables in there, we don't have equipment out there. IP pathways is just back and forth with them, and like I said, it's just very slow. So I don't know where we need to turn, the IP pathways out here, or get Aaron more involved with it, and Jim and Mary out of it.
So the internet's slow on each of their computers, are they hooked in directly?
Not 100% sure.
Or they hit the wireless out there.
Has,
No, I think the wire.
okay, so has Giant come out,
They've talked to Johnny,
but have they
But
come
they've come
out?
out and looked at it and tested their,
not recently.
I think that's the first thing I would do right there is get them out there and say, you know, look, you need to come out, you need to check this out, see what's going on. If it's on your end, fine, if it's not, then we'll go farther.
Yeah,
They ain't Joe with the twins.
you just need a determination whether it's on our end or their end.
According to IP pathways and everybody, it's not on their end.
It's not on.
IP pathways, yeah. Giant said it's not on theirs, so that's it.
Well, I would request, like I say, I would request Giant come out, check their stuff, even though they say they have nothing out there, just have cabling. Check it and check the speed, get things going that way. Because then if we can eliminate them, if they can prove to us that they're delivering out there what they say they're supposed to be, then we can go the IP pathways.
Yeah, we've been messing with this for months now.
You know how to Google or run a speed test?
I've never done that.
And
I'm sure Mary does.
you can just Google speed test, you got a speed test, click on it to see what your actual speed's running. And then verify that through what you're supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, do it there and then get Giant out there and have them do it. So you can have that in your back pocket, what you're seeing.
Other than that, we've got some limbs down on the M Road south of the Payroll up here, so we're getting that cleaned up. Got some minimum maintenance signs that have been blown down, knocked down, clean that up, and then a couple spots on Politic Road that we looked at, and some stuff from a mark out there in the flat area on the other side of the 254. Just working on. I think that's all.
Well, I just had a couple, had a call from Justin Jager. He told him to call you and get hold of you.
That's out.
Okay. I'm gonna give you his number, but after this I'll text it to you, that way you guys can connect. But he was concerned about C Road, north T54 by Soldier. And he just wanted to talk to you and try to get something straightened out with that. And then he also said there's a big hole in the bridge by Dr. Howard's. I think that's on C Road.
Yeah, I think he's on. Yeah, he's on.
Okay. And he said it's getting worse. And then I talked to a gentleman yesterday at Walmart, and he was saying that Y and 310 needs some rock, and the ditches need worked.
It's up there last year.
You said the water's not good, and he said it's really needs some rock running through there, so I told him I'd tell you, and he said, why not, it's not gonna be, tomorrow, but we'll get up there and look at it and see what we do. So, that was it.
Mrs. Catherine Allen Deer Run said she called the office last week about grading the road out there. There's potholes. Catherine? So I think back in my son's area.
Yeah. There's a guy been out there on the little tractor, messing with it.
I don't know if you guys are not. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Anything else?
I just had one more thing here. We got this Samsara contract,
Yeah.
and we had some questions on it last week. Is this a $15,000 payment every year?
From what I understand, yes.
I didn't think that was what it was supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be an initial payment, and
Well, there was, the first year, there was, on the original contract, there was some shipping involved in getting it here and set up, and then after that was pretty less.
So it is leasing all the equipment, not
Yes.
us.
He said after the contract, but it's just pretty much owned anyway, so they don't want it back. It's 3 years old,
okay, so it'd be $15,000 a year for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, that includes the forms portion of it also.
Okay.
I just want the GPS alone, that'd be less.
And how much? I mean, what do you think on that?
Their first contract that we had, there was about $4,000 difference. From just the GPS to the application.
So my suggestion that we get a contract on just the GPS and video, and then if they get the forms portion of it later in the year, we can add that in.
I think that would be the smart thing to do, because like I said, if we're not gonna get it, we're not gonna pay for it, so.
This has been sent around because I've seen.
I think that you've seen that, Tara.
Well, the general terms have been sent, but they said they were creating a separate document, right? For us?
Yes, they did.
Okay. So
And I don't
this is
know
just
if
the
that's
price
it.
sheet.
Yeah, that's what came in a week ago, I think.
Because I had an email from that guy. So I didn't know if this was just the same terms as what they give you on the website or not.
So we'll hold off on approving that right now until Todd's had a chance to look at it, and contact them and find out what the amount will be for the GPS itself. And then we will, when the forms get straightened out, then we will take action on that.
And that includes the video, correct?
GPS and video.
GPS and video, yes. Yeah, in fact, the forward-facing cameras. No
Get that.
in-cab cameras, forward-facing.
Yeah.
Get the guy out to send it to me specifically.
All right.
No, he has my email address, he's there, I think. Here's where I'm at.
So can I ask a question on the recycling truck that you're gonna get bids on? So what's it gonna replace?
The old Ford F-250 we had down there.
How old is it?
2011 or something like that.
And so that's kind of budgeted for?
Huh?
Has it been budgeted for?
Yeah. It's out of our capital outlay.
Okay.
We've been talking about replacing, well, I did a 5-year plan a couple of years ago,
Yep.
and a lot of that's changed, but
Okay.
for recycling down here, look for all departments, we had a skid steer in there, we had a pickup truck, and a forklift.
So then you started saving for those,
Okay,
and then that
Okay.
way
They
when
were
it's
at
time to
100,
replace
we're,
it.
right, we're at 101,000 in our outlay now.
okay.
And then 113 for landfill. But I would say that the landfill needs to do anything right now.
And I think landfill's pretty much set other than, you know, if you got electrical.
Tobacco will have to be done something for probably a couple of years.
Yeah,
So it's hard to get it away from the
he likes it.
He does.
Getting parts for it anymore is gonna be kind of tough.
So speaking of landfill, I thought it looked 100% better. The work that he's done, cleaned up, straightened up. I know he's got a little ways to go, but it looks really good.
Darlene and I went down there a few weeks ago and had talked.
Yeah, it looks really good. So tell Darlene, I said, thank you. Ed said, I tell him, I said, thank you. It looks really good. And I know he's got a little bit more to go, and he kind of walked me through his plan, like on the bicycles and stuff, and it made sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I told him, you know, all that stuff that's in that building down there, I said, if it doesn't pertain to keeping the landfill up to date, get rid of it. Because we went through there, we had a ladder that was still in there from like 3 years ago, where the lady put us up on that, because the end of it was bent. We had a fence grinder that was still in there, so I said, check with him. If it doesn't keep the landfill going, it goes.
C Road between 110 and 118, you have opportunity to reach out to the landowners and talk about doing
Oh,
a
on
road
that
closure.
I have not had a chance.
Okay. 2 miles of road on 94th in Minokan, in the Minokan Township.
Have not had a chance to talk to him yet.
Okay. And then there's a large blowout on Chip and Seal on just south of 126th and S. Do the operators report stuff like that up the chain of command?
They should, if they see it.
This one's hard to miss. I've gotten several emails about it. It's gonna have to probably, be one of those that you dig out.
Okay. You said 126.
It's right there by
South
Bob
of
Earhart.
us.
South of 126. And then operators, are they out looking at these areas at the bottom of hills where water tends to stand?
They're supposed to be in a lot of work.
And so how do we verify that? How are we verifying that they're out doing that, they're calling for gravel, they're looking at these tubes that are plugged, that we talked about last week? How is management verifying that that's what they're getting accomplished?
The only way it's good is if you pull off and just go run around and check up on them.
Conversation with them?
That's the only way you could,
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to understand is, I know you've had that conversation with them, they know that's what they're supposed to be doing, and is there some spot verification that that's getting done?
Not this morning.
Okay.
I mean, if we want to run out and check where everybody's at, we can.
Can you have just conversations with them and without having to physically go meet with each one on one phone, say, is this what you've been doing? And where is it that you've done it so that I can verify those types of things?
Yeah.
Because I think it's important that we continue to stress, if you see something, fix it. Don't pass by it, just like, plug tubes.
There's a caveat to that too, if they're on their way to somewhere else that they've been told
For
to
sure.
go, then note it down.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
come back to it later.
Absolutely, but make
Yeah.
notes of that so that you can fix it, so that the public sees those things as taking care of issues and getting.
Well, something Wade used to do is on Thursdays, he would call the operators, and have a conversation with them.
Maybe that's part of the.
We probably need to go back to that. I know Linda didn't do it when she was there. So
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to do is start that back up.
yeah, that's all I'm asking is we just keep encouraging them to really empower themselves and to take care of these problems and fix the problems. If they're not getting fixed, then something will have to change.
And that's probably something that every couple of months that you need to emphasize in your meetings, that, you know, the three of us are not wanting you to rush through something. If you see it, as Keith said, fix it. Don't think that you don't have the power to fix your own roads. I mean, that's the whole key right there.
Okay.
So I think every couple of months, just emphasizing that would be a great thing.
Okay. That it?
That's all I've got.
Did know that you guys had heard the Scott Stropman passed away.
I just heard that this morning.
Right here.
Did he have cancer?
Yes, he had some kidney and bladder. I guess he had a kidney removed here recently. Bladder was shot.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, sir.
Two applications, Mark, I think
I think we need to set up time to get them in here.
I would agree.
You want to try and do it next Monday?
I'll find
Next
that.
Monday. 17th. Try and get them in here 17th. Probably not do it in the afternoon, I'm gonna guess. We'll try to get them in there in the morning, so you can get them in here, but I'm not sure when. Two.
Yeah, whatever works.
We'll try and get them in the morning, but if they say they can't make it, then we'll have to make arrangements to get them in the afternoon, so, go ahead and give them a call and set up times for them anywhere from, 10:45 to noon. That way, get everybody a chance to get in here now. Todd, you want to go on early?
Sure. Let's talk about, we covered, I think, contract stuff. We talked about responding to open records and going to the Attorney General. I did, traditionally, you're supposed to, like I may have said on the phone call, you're supposed to do your research before you write them, make sure. And that has revealed something that actually is an interesting part of the law. As I related to you, the statute says person. There's a separate statute that defines person as a body, corporate, and politic, which is a legal term of art.
A legal term of
Art, meaning it sounds, that means it sounds weird and it doesn't make any sense. So it has to, the law has to interpret it, right? So it's just, a body, corporate, and politic generally is, a person, human being, a corporation. So the state law says, state law says you can be a corporation. That is a body, corporate, and politic would be the municipality that the state has empowered based on its sovereignty to be a, just like county, commission, city. So that has an actual legal meaning in all of this. So I did a lot of research on that a while back, and I did some more. I have to dig that up, but I also looked federally, and there is some case law that indicates that Indian tribes are not subject to certain rules that would indicate that they are body, corporate, politic for federal law purposes. So I've got to close that loop before I go to the DG letter, because I have to be able to say, what the research shows. And that's, so Kansas law says in addition to what we thought of, what I talked about, it has an additional term that I have to explore or get to the bottom.
So,
Which basically means that the tribe may not be a body corporate in Politic under Kansas law.
Right.
Or-
right, and I'm trying to figure how, I'm trying to wrap my head around how that's possible, how it could be possible, if they can pick and choose which Kansas laws, which Kansas statutes that they want to follow, and others that they say, no, we don't acknowledge that. We don't acknowledge the KDHE, we don't acknowledge this, but we want you to follow Kansas law and give us this.
Mhm.
I don't understand how it could, it's either gotta be one way or another. It can't be both.
Yeah, and I think that the question here is a consistency that kind of goes beyond that, meaning that's the question of what does the position of a sovereign mean? Meaning, is the tribe like it would probably maybe prefer to be as a co-equal sovereign, you know what I mean? It means it's on the level of a state or a different government. That would be the kind of end result of that. And if it is such in state law statements about, who is covered with essentially have to be, you couldn't be a separate sovereign, you can be a body corporate Politic, because I think it intends that it would be a creation of the state itself. Meaning, the state of Kansas created its laws about corporations. Now, you can be a corporation out of the state of Kansas and come into Kansas and do business, but you have to register here. That's a foreign corporation. Cities, townships, counties are not entities absent the state saying it, right? The state created the system whereby they exist. Now, maybe they have powers that are over and above, in a sense, some other portions of the, state, but that's all in there. So, the state failed some way, it wasn't operating, didn't exist. This sort of all back. But that's not the case with tribes. So that's going to take some work.
Yeah, so you still got some more research to do.
Yeah, but I've got I had to do the basics of that for another matter, so I think I just have to merge that concept with what I'm seeing. Federal civil rights jurisdiction has, Indian tribes suing other municipalities, like somebody would sue a city for the violation of their First Amendment rights. Does the tribe have the same right to sue a city? And I think the answer is no. So, and that has some bearing on that issue.
Okay.
So that's why that is kind of a little bit more meaty than I thought of.
Okay.
And the only other thing I think of note would be just, a general status update of some things outside of lawsuits is that I think you guys are familiar with this many cases that are happening in Douglas County against the city on the First Amendment issues that have been raised. One of those was disposed of in summary judgment. The claims of the plaintiff have been dismissed based upon the summary judgment motion because of analysis of the forum application. Remember, we talked about that. This is not an open forum. This is a closed forum. The federal court took that up and determined that the city of Lawrence's city council meetings and commission, I think it's a commission, is a closed forum too. So the claims were dismissed. We could probably assume that several other of those lawsuits would be dismissed in the future.
Okay.
So, good thing. Yeah, there was another one filed against the city of Miriam. So, but the same type of claims. So,
Right.
hopefully we'll start to see those things falling away.
All right, sounds good.
Any other questions about these rather significant and weighty matters?
I can't think of any that I have. You guys have anything? Okay.
You need me to hang around now, or no problem?
I'll let you take a look at this right now. That's agreement for McElroy, Pat's coming in for later on. If you see nothing wrong with it, then
That's Pat Richter here?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, he's here at 10:15.
This is the building here.
I believe so. And we could probably try and get him in here earlier if you want to take a look at that and answer if you have any questions for him.
Well, he's gonna be here, seems like it's probably 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'll just read this.
Okay, perfect.
Cover it while I'm here.
So, which one did we have
So I know she was worried about the money. And he said he had it in capital, right?
Yeah, recycle.
Yeah.
So we should be good to
It's all just been him budget, you know, other stuff that he needs to do or whatever.
I know he said he was gonna hold off on he said he was gonna hold off on the skidler. Try to get it on 2 years out of that.
I got you.
All right, perfect.
Are you trying to get sick? Allergies at Abbott's at that time?
Yeah, I didn't have to start taking the survey. I haven't started yet. When do we normally start holding budget requests? Conservation District sent an email wanting to know when they.
April 1 is usually when that
Okay.
bids come in.
Then I'll answer you back, tell him that, to make some, set the time somewhere,
Yeah.
first part of April.
We can have, typically we like to have all those in more departments by April 1.
By April 1, so maybe he needs to come in next week and present.
Yeah, he's got some explanation if it's an increase or something along those lines.
How often do they hold board meetings, do you know? I mean, that might be a little.
I have no-
That might be a little
They
quick
can,
for him.
they can probably call it quick when everybody's around here, so. I mean, just sometime before the end of the month, they can get it done. few minutes.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Okay.
So you want to order this week?
What's that?
You're going to order this week?
Yes. I thought it was last week. I found out it was this week.
I asked Vicki how
So yes, I am.
your day was.
Yes, I am. I'm nice driving home.
Had you already gotten there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I looked at the dates wrong.
I got it.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Ain't the first time I screwed up, ain't gonna be the last.
Would have been a nice day for her.
It was a great day. And if I'm looking at the weather right,
Oh, it's supposed to be 70 all week.
you know,
Oh, so yours,
I might just get on the bike and drive. That would seem to be the thing to do. When is it? Yeah, today's supposed to be 75. If it's 70.
It shows 70 all week.
Oh, it's supposed to be 76 on Thursday. There you go. I think I'm gonna know what I'm doing.
Are you doing anything with kids on spring break? Karen?
And nothing specific.
Gotcha. Hopefully it's a nice week next week.
And this weekend, it was a great
Oh, St. Patrick's Day,
great
right?
community. Actually, Thursday, and then also Friday, they also and
So why didn't they have school today?
and so it's Thursday, they are different.
Parent teacher conference. It'll be out before you know it. Yeah, I was trying to decide if I could take the 2 over students every center, like hand over up.
I saw on the news that the next week is when the train and carousel is going to be awesome.
Oh, yes, that's right, it is.
So if you're there, that's what it
It'd be a great place. I'd probably use a little bit of it.
And it's every Sunday you can't have these other
That's true.
sick.
Works for me.
Yeah. You should.
Tell Tommy if you get lost, I'm just going to.
Some bells on.
So, Thankfully, his older brother came to tablet on him. It's like, oh no. And they were like, the little shears that you work with outside in the garden. Into the garden shed and got the little shears. I'm gonna cut Bruno's hair. So, I know.
So are we gonna try to have, what, I want you guys' input on this, try again to have a meeting with all department heads prior to the budget meeting? I'm
I'm not interested in it. Nobody showed up.
I know,
That we met over there.
okay,
I'm not gonna waste your time.
okay. I'd almost think it'd be a good idea to try it one more time, personally. I don't know, because when it comes to the budget hearing itself, there's really not going to be a chance to try to explain what we're doing, especially with the format we have to use now. Well, as far as I'm not interested in the back and forth debate at that meeting. If we want to try to explain something, I think that the place to do it would be at the pre-hearing, because just from things that are going on right now as far as the equal time and this and that and the other thing, I don't want to get into any kind of a debate at that meeting. So I think that the best thing to do to answer questions would be to have the pre-meeting to try to explain to people then, because that's where we're, because it's already pretty much set then.
I think you're gonna get anybody to show up, so you're not gonna explain anything to anybody. I mean, the meeting, the hearing is where the public wants to ask a question, we'll answer it to our best ability, and give them 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever, to ask a question, and then we'll ask it and go from there.
And we could have the department heads down here then.
At that evening hearing,
When we have the hearing, budget hearing.
you want the department heads in that? No,
I don't think, because everything's already been decided pretty much by that time. I mean, the budget's pretty much set, we could do some tweaking on it, but I don't necessarily know that it's gonna be
But that one was because we went over the, or not, or is that what you're talking about? That hearing?
well, you have the R&R hearing, and then you have the budget hearing after that,
Right.
for the night meeting, yes. I was just trying to think, if we are going to do that, we're going to have to set some dates and get them published and get them out there, so be thinking on that, you know. This doesn't have to be decided today. I just want to get that out there and get thinking about it. So,
I mean, when we had that meeting over there that time, we didn't have budget set yet, did we?
No. That was the whole idea, is to invite the public to come in and sit down in front of every department head, including elected officials, ask questions about their budget.
Right.
We had a proposed budget ready at that time, and they can ask questions, and there can be some back and forth
Right.
come on up, Pat.
in those opportunities, but nobody showed up.
Right. Right. I was trying to think if we actually had our budget set at that time or not. I didn't think we did.
I think
It
we
was
had
just proposed, we had tentative budget,
Tentative budget.
Yeah.
okay.
yes. Pat, what's going on?
This JaCo sign.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JaCo, what are we
And
talking about?
that Lennon put up last fall. City came over and said that
I'm still not, where is this?
Right out here in the corner. Says JaCo Life.
Oh,
it was a tourism thing.
oh, okay, thank you.
Try to just found that out. but the city came over and said it needs to be set in concrete and very conduit. And they wanted to hook up to us, and there's a power line over by that tree, but I don't think that should be our cost.
No. I'm not in favor of that.
Me neither. I have talked to April about it, because she was at the city meeting, and I think she'd be willing to take it back. A lot of people are bitching because they always see the backside of it. So,
Well, it's pointed out toward the street. I mean, you can't have it both ways, but if you point it toward the courthouse, then you can't see it from the street, so.
I wondered who put it out there.
but
Should
yeah,
have
for
for Christmas time.
the Jackson County Service.
Oh, okay.
So just take it down seems like the simplest solution.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I think. I don't think we should have that.
I'm not willing to stand the cost to set it up, you know, if it's a temporary deal to where they're having, you know, glory days or something like that, I can see it set it up for that, but.
Where it's at, I talked to April about it and the chamber. Cars parked there during glory days.
Mhm.
It's just taken up that much for them. Yeah, I can just tell her to take it down and do whatever.
Yeah.
So that she can put it back up. As long as it's a temporary, everybody thought on the city that it was a Christmas thing this month.
See, that's what I thought,
Yeah.
because it went up about Christmas when
Right.
everything else went up.
And see, that's what I thought too. I just found out on the last week before there was a group of people down there taking pictures and they said it was for the tourists.
Right. Yeah, I think the best thing to do, if they want to use it as a temporary thing, you know, put it up then, but it's gonna have to come down, it's not gonna be a permanent fixture.
Because, I mean, it's a lot of work to, it has to be buried 18 inches in conduit, and who knows what's underneath that sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's a big tree.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I will go tell April that she needs it removed.
Okay. And what about the McElroy's contract thing? What's that about?
Just a renewal form, and every
Okay.
year they raise prices, or no one they do.
And that's filters and belts and all that good stuff? Do they take care of all that, or do you?
We do the filters.
Okay.
And I don't know why that is. But they just come in and check everything, make sure everything's working, and they blow the unit out outside twice a year. And they bleed everything down the basement. They're up here maybe 4 days a year.
Okay. So once a quarter, they're coming up and doing their annual inspections for the quarter.
They should be coming up to do the summer thing. And make sure everything's switched over in the fall and do the winter.
Okay. All right.
Well, a couple of things to note on the contract. You understand that they don't allow other entities to repair or work on this.
Right.
So that's just a warning. That says here that nobody else can work on it. So, there isn't an indemnification clause for the county, so I think what we asked at this time is if I could give them the standard terms and conditions to add to that, it would be better off. It's a minor problem that we want to feel better with. So, what's your email?
It's, custodial at JACOPS.
It's not KD record.
It's
It's not KD record.
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll send that. term to you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much it went up from last year, but I know in that email they said, oh, the price increase.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise, everything.
And I just got to call them and, they're supposed to call me and set an appointment, it seems like I have to call them all the time.
I think make them aware that, hey guys, you're supposed to be calling me. So, you know, if I forget, you've got a better system than I do. And kind of make that known to them.
Oh, sure, there's another way we can do it, because they're called actuators,
Mm-hmm.
and they're $50, $60 a piece, and I bet we go through probably 6 or 7 a year. And there's a different one for the heat and the cold. And when people shut their units off, it hurts them. Now, courts are really bad about shutting their heat off, and then we gotta kick started things.
Yeah.
No, I will go talk to April and
All right.
probably do it tomorrow morning. Who knows where she's at today? Is it her mom that works over there? Is that her mom?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Every time I go over there, April's not there, she's doing something.
All right. Yep,
All right.
that'll work.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, buddy. So, would you like us to approve this contract contingent upon acceptance of the cash basis or the terms and conditions?
Yep, same thing.
So I will entertain a motion to enter to accept the McElroy contract contingent upon their acceptance of the terms and conditions for Jackson County.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the McElroy's contract. Any further discussion?
Legal situation.
Yeah.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I'd like to ask for executive session for 10 minutes for a legal matter out at the lake.
Attorney-client privilege. Keith, go for your script.
Okay. I'd move that we go into executive session for purpose of attorney-client privilege, possible litigation for length of 10 minutes.
Yep.
Okay. To include Kurt and our attorney.
Okay.
All right, it's been properly moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Properly moved and seconded to go into executive session for attorney-client privileges, possible litigation, including Commissioners Kurt and our attorney. All in favor, say aye.
Beginning at 10:23.
Beginning at 10:20, 10:20 what? 3?
3.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you, lady. I hope it was helpful.
It was.
then, like I said, in the future, if it makes it any easier, if there's anything that we can put in our terms and conditions that we sign saying that if you fall behind and
Do you have like a Word version or something you can send me, or just whatever?
well, I think did I email it to you? I'm pretty sure I did. If it's not, I know I emailed the terms and conditions to you, but I don't know if it was a Word or if it was.
Okay, well,
like,
I'll see.
but just, if you don't have it, just send me an email, just
Okay.
remind me to, that way we can, since surprisingly enough, this has happened twice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't foresee it happening in the future because of how we're handling things now. Moving forward with,
Yep.
not allowing permanent long-term,
Yep, get you.
but it doesn't hurt. Thank you.
See
You bet, we'll see you later.
Yep.
What you got?
Oh, no. Anybody have anything to talk?
Yeah.
All right. I think we're good. All right. I was just kind of looking at the desk book for timelines for everything. A lot of fun stuff's coming up. We're out of executive session, no action was taken. Thank you. All right, Todd, we'll see you later. Thank you very much.
Let's have a good afternoon. Enjoy the day.
If I could still not be retired.
those need to be signed?
What's that?
Those for information only?
I think they were just for information.
I
Okay,
didn't
'cause
see
I didn't
those
see
signed.
anything to sign. Yeah, okay.
See
Yeah,
anything
the change
toward,
orders are here.
you see anything toward on paper?
Nope, dollar amount was right in the right range.
It's a different sidewalk. Terry, it's the printer on.
I gave a copy earlier.
Okay, so it is. I didn't know.
I think so.
Okay. I'm gonna send some. Mark, did you have your meeting down south?
No, it's this week.
It's this week, okay.
Yeah, I had a nice drive down there.
Gotcha.
That was one of those,
Oops.
well, I looked at everything, the first day was March the, let's see, March the 4th. And it went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, I see March 4th. Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that week, right? No, that's not right. Enjoyed the drive, saw a lot of beautiful countryside.
Good. At least you know the way.
Like I say, that ain't the first time I screwed up, and ain't gonna be the last, so what are you gonna do?
that one?
Sure. Morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
Great. How's commissioners this morning?
Loving every minute of it. Still getting better at this.
I'm not in the middle of anything.
Nope, nope.
Okay. So, everything going okay with our contracts?
Seems to be for us. How about you?
What I like to hear.
Everything good with you on it? All
Working
right.
out pretty well.
All right. Good.
We'll see. Looks like it's gonna be a busy year.
Oh, yeah. Gets busier all the time, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There you
Every
go.
day.
All right, thank you. So when do we know for sure what our assessed valuation is for this year?
What she had to certify to Christie, the first of, do you know, Terry, is the first of June?
They've all been sent out, so.
Yeah.
Right, but she has to certify, because they have so many to do hearings.
Real and personal property tax rolls must be certified and turned in to the county clerk by June 15th.
June 15th, okay,
Okay, so then that,
so then we can start from there.
and the county clerk notifies district of revenue neutral rate then also, so, okay. So then we can start taking up, talking about budget. Because we'll actually know what we'll have to work with, go from here. So, I'm happy about starting this. Yeah.
So do you send the, once you get appropriations, do you send them letters ahead of time? And
I think they normally just come in and talk.
They don't send letters out for appropriations, they just.
And so is the ambulance contract go up for
It's up,
conversation this year?
it's up this year, I believe.
The
The,
ambulance contract up
It
for
is.
conversation this year?
It is.
yeah,
So you don't want to wait till the last minute for
oh, no,
that to come in?
Yeah. We're gonna need to have a conversation with them.
I think we're gonna get a legal opinion on what can actually be disclosed and what can't.
They're not, the last time we did this, they were not willing to show
I understand that,
the entire amount.
yeah.
So was there any more talk about an ambulance down south? About, no,
They didn't say anything.
didn't say anything.
And of course, that wasn't
Right.
the right meeting to have that. He said he was gonna bring it up at their next
I got
board
you.
meeting. Or
I got it. I mean, that would kind of make a difference to me.
I can text Jeremy and ask him if they're gonna have that conversation at the meeting, at the next meeting. I was just looking, somebody sent me a text this morning, said their valuation, total appraised valuation from $246,000 to $256,000. And he said, three bedroom, it was a nice home, nice shop, all that kind of stuff. So it's like 10 acres. He said, it looks like the county's gonna have to, you should just buy my house for $225,000. I thought, I'll do the $225,000 for it.
Yeah, that's, but will most people sell their property for what the assessed valuation is?
I don't know.
And I'll bet you the answer 9 times out of 10 is gonna be no.
Because then the assessed, not the assessed value, the appraised value.
Appraised value, yeah.
Yeah, the assessed went up a little over $1,000, which it should tell on them what that, they didn't show it, what that means for increases property values.
I mean, I wouldn't sell my place for the appraised value.
That would be.
There's no way. So, and I know that we're gonna get the,
And we have the
you're gonna start hearing that, my taxes went up, my taxes went up, my taxes went up. My taxes went up by $10,000. So your taxes did not go up by $10,000.
Yeah, so I was doing a little research on that. But back to the meeting, I'm fine if you want to have. I'm trying to check. I don't know that there's any value to having all the department heads and elected officials there if.
I mean, like that day that was done,
I'm gonna have to take this up.
there was,
Yeah.
there was a lot of money spent because it was advertised, and it was advertised, and those ads aren't cheap.
Oh, yeah. No, I know.
And, you know,
And they came out of the commissioner's budget too.
I know,
You
it
we-
did,
We
yeah.
paid for that
And
and
I'm
food
just
and
saying,
everything else, so.
there was a lot of money went into it, and then nobody showed up.
Yeah.
Except the one girl. It was like,
And that was, she wasn't even there for that, so.
no, right. So, I don't know. At that point, I think no.
I'm willing to try it one more year and see if we can get anything out of it. That's where I'm at.
And what month did we do that in?
You were gonna ask me that. I don't know if I have it. That seems like that was in July, wasn't it?
I don't know, I can't remember.
I want to say that was July. I'm gonna look here and see. I still have it on my calendar. So that would've been- because of our revenue neutral budget hearing was on the 22nd of August. Unless I didn't put it down here.
I guess I did have my budget papers. Because I didn't even change basically. I was trying to remember what time. Yeah, that meeting.
Because we started at 3 o'clock and went till 7 to give everybody a chance that was
Right.
to come in.
And if we can convince the department heads to come back and do it again,
Well, we fed them, so, you know, I don't see that I've got that down, or I can't find it.
what's that?
I was curious what.
The date that we had it.
When we did it, I can't remember.
June?
Well, I thought it was June too,
Let me
but
go
I
back-
don't have it.
Let me go back and look, I think I.
You think it was that early?
Yeah, it was, because the idea was, it's early enough that we can have a conversation. So if 500 people came in and said, you know, we don't want gravel put on the roads anymore. Okay, and I'm just being facetious. But we could cut the gravel budget. It gave us enough time to reduce the budget for something along those lines.
That was the thought process.
Correct.
And I was just telling Linda, I would be willing to try it one more year and see if we get anything. If we don't get anything, if we do it and we don't get anything this time, then I'm out.
Okay, so we met on June 18th.
June 18th. Okay.
That was a Tuesday?
Yes, I know it was a Tuesday.
We did it from 3 till 7.
3 to 7. Oh, I've got that down here, but I've got it down at 9 a.m., so that was not. Okay. I do have that down, but I didn't have the time down there. So like I said, just keep that back in your mind. We'll discuss it here.
Has Christie sent, did she send information out yet? For budget stuff?
To the departments,
She right back?
I think she has,
And did she give them a date to get it back, or she just gave it to them to?
Mark, I'm gonna run up, see Kate for a minute.
Sure.
I wanna talk to her about this guy that texted me and get some
Yeah.
additional information.
Yep, no problem.
I don't
Okay.
know if it was, everybody in the people that requested it, I know some people have it, and I didn't have asking questions, so I don't really.
Because you want them all to have a chance to have figures in their mind. That's right, because with the school, you have the school districts there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only one that showed up was Royal Valley.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Davies had a procedure that day, so he couldn't come. We never even heard anything back from Jackson Heights, so. And I would recommend we do the same thing again. Ask them to come, show up. I mean, they've got their budget too that we get blamed for, so. It's kind of like, you know, we're just the faucet. Everything comes into us and outflows, but we get blamed for everything, so that's okay. I'm glad I got my burn yesterday. 30-mile-an-hour winds again. I'd have seen 30-mile-an-hour gusts.
They got called out yesterday.
Fire department did,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there was a couple times yesterday afternoon, I was sitting out there watching it. There's a bird around the garden and everything too, and then I went, got a volunteer and some refreshment, sat out there watching the brush pile burn, and there was a couple times, man, the wind came up, and I thought,
Yeah.
you can bring me the hose. By that time, you know, stay that way for about 5 minutes,
Right.
drop back down.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
Guess we should ask him if she's had many phone calls.
Well, I don't know.
Last week. Yeah.
What do you think about?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that just makes it.
And that drives everything up, yeah. That's why when, you know, the folks around the square came in, I could understand their concern. But when you had properties around the square selling for much more than what they should have.
So if you're wanting to stay in one side, if you're wanting to sell, you could.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. There is no easy answer.
No.
If there was an easy answer for everything, then we'd all be smart, right? I don't know. All we can do is do the best we can do when it comes to this.
And then there is some sort of guidance, you know, insurance and guidance and other things that Jason would do. The state has said everything.
Right.
Well, that's why I saw a friend of mine post on Facebook. He lives on the other side of the county line in County County. And when he had his property appraised for taxes last year, his house was finished.
The
His
house.
house is finished now with several outbuildings, several improvements, several this, several that. And he was complaining that his valuation was $100,000. Yeah, he worked that. He built the buildings, you did this, you did that. What are you gonna say? That's not fair, that's not fair. Well, they had the houses listed down below there. Do you know where they list the comparable properties? I don't think we do.
No.
Shawnee County lists the comparable properties in his area that they're comparing to.
Oh, they do.
Oh, yes.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a hearing, they have to show you a couple of properties, but it's not on paper.
That was in there. So, you know, that,
He did.
I don't know, I don't know.
They show prior year and current. I don't think so. 46th Street, he's in a housing area that properties, it sells.
Yep.
He put himself there.
Like I say, if you're willing to sell your house or your property for the appraised value, they might be a buyer.
I got it. What's that? He walked into. But you did say farmland went down, right?
Yep,
So-
farmland went down, but it's still selling high. I don't understand how it went down.
Right.
Maybe you pulled it down, but I don't see it on there. Yeah, he must have pulled it down because I don't see it on his slide anymore, so, on the page.
experience in legal. What'd you think?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was.
What is the cutoff for the, you can't put a cutoff on there for applications?
Set until filled, until the positions are filled. That's what the ad read anyway.
Hey Brooke, how are you?
Great, you guys?
We're early, but you want to head up?
Sure.
We'll get you in.
All right. I'm just coming over to share the comprehensive grant for our block grant and our prevention. So the first two of 5. I am going to apply for what's called a regional collaboration grant, so it'll include Atchison and Brown County, well, Atchison and then the 22nd district. So I'll see if I get awarded that, but, so that would be the 5th grant that I haven't previously applied for. So, I'm gonna give this to you guys. Sorry, it's one more copy. And here's the packet. This is on the top, I just broke out because the way it prints in our workbook, it doesn't really print really well to look at the actual budget. But this is the overall budget for FY26 that would start in July. And then behind that is the actual comprehensive part of the grant, data collection for all of our programs. So this is, when I say block grant, that is juvenile intake, that's prevention, which is a second slice of pie, I guess is the way of saying it. So block is intake, probation, community case management, and immediate intervention. Then there's the prevention piece. Turn that over. And then this just breaks out all of the funds per program. So where it says case, that's prevention. And we just can't spend more than what we've been allocated, which was like $23,000.
On prevention.
On prevention, yeah. I mean, it's part of the group whole, so like some districts get prevention funds, but they don't actually use it for prevention, whereas we do. At one point, we had $42,000 that was allocated, and so, and this is a program that is being looked at as possibly being cut by the state, and I think a lot of it has to do with that back when, so like I actually started the prevention program. I mean, that was, so in 1999, started the program, and all the directors that had applied for those funds and got them, we've carried them on since, whereas as directors change and new faces, and they're like, well, how do I get these funds? Well, it's not available anymore. So I think that's part of the other programs and grants that are available, it's kind of shifting. So I have ideas if those funds get taken, what I would do with it, and how to continue with our preventative program, but by way through the family engagement program that we have, which is our JCAB and reinvestment grant, which I'll come over another time.
Move some funds around to make that still work, still have that.
Right, because the prevention program itself is huge. It's a huge support to schools, law enforcement, and parents, and so, and kids, kids that maybe just are misunderstood. And so, anyways, that's what that is. So this is this top part is the actual funds, and it'll total the $541,000 whatever dollars. This I did not put money for court services. We do have to spend about up to $500 if they choose to. Typically, I just buy UAs for them and that they use in family court and whatnot. It has to be for youth-related cases. But some of the officers have started doing incentives with some of their juvenile probationers that are on low risk with them, and I just purchased stuff for them as incentive. But anyways, there's no money actually stuck here, but I just shift as needed. And then this is the overall piece. If you decide you want to look through it, the first part's pretty boring. This here, though, I tacked this in because I was really upset. When I started to get into our immediate intervention program, this is a program that is designed for all first-time misdemeanor youth or second-time. Some felony cases, which all of our even new county attorneys, we have one new in Pot and one new here, have also decided to continue with the immediate intervention program in some of the felony cases. So to avoid, so if they can make it through, they avoid prosecution of not being charged. They're showing us as 34 kiddos. And that is so wrong. And so I worked with IT through the state where they did this data poll, which was August 10th of 2024, and we actually had 99 kids, which I had record of 97. The other two, technically, they needed to fix their tickets because one was a Cheyenne County kid and one was Lynn County. So I'm right. But anyways, my grant does not reflect this. It reflects what, and this is just the correspondence between and all the kiddos is whatever. And back here it just talks about, it actually references are 97
97.
cases.
Okay.
So much like, whatever.
It's
No,
important.
no, it's interesting, it's important to have, yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on, well, so here's the deal, and you may have learned this through adult corrections or had the buzz of the formula funding. So they're actually trying to determine how to run formulas to determine the amount each district would receive for the services they provide. And so,
If
They're
they're going to
starting
do it
with
34,
adults.
then,
correct, so right now they're focused on adults because they know they're underfunded in some of the districts and that they need more personnel to oversee the amount of cases they actually have. To safely and
Right.
for community safety as well. And so the next piece will be juvenile, and that's why I really hammered that, like, before I would submit my grant, is to show the correct amount and get IT to start figuring out why their stuff is not pulling
I was gonna say,
correctly.
why is it wrong?
yeah.
Yeah, it's really concerning. Ours may not, like the juvenile part of things may not even take effect until our fiscal year 27. But in the meantime, I want to make sure we're working out the kinks because it will directly impact us. Immediate intervention is not something we've received any additional funds for ever. But with the new funding formula, it could. And we, as a smaller district, have a lot, and you can see that compared to even like Shawnee County.
Yeah.
And things like that. So we take on a lot of cases, and so anyways, yes, it's kind of a big deal.
Understand.
This is just the signature parts of it, and I guess, is Christy still? She's home.
Need it.
She'll
You need a certified by,
chair, and Christy, or clerk.
a.
Notary?
Notary, thank you.
Oh, no.
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 I don't.
Okay.
You'd think so.
Just the clerk, okay.
I'm trying to wait for Christy then. Okay. No, if I can just.
Do you want a question? Just for the intermediate intervention?
Yes. Yes.
Just this one?
It's like probation and you get it.
So, I'm curious, and on these grants, are there any federal funds involved in this, or do the federal funds go to the state and then they funnel through the state?
That's my understanding. I mean, so all of our funding comes through KDOC,
Okay.
and so they oversee the funding portion of it on the state level. And then they disperse it out. It's been a question, as long as I've been director, I think at least every 3 years it comes up, how are they determining the funds per district? And they'll say there's this formula. And if you look at statute, it says that the formula in itself is not, there is no actual formula. And so I actually was appointed to what's called the CAC team, which oversees it's for the prevention piece for the Northeast region. So I represent the Northeast region, and I work on that team, which is with DOC and other directors to present to the Secretary of Corrections. And that's kind of where some of this has also come from, you know. It's just there's a need for, you know, and especially in the adult corrections piece, we know there's a lot of districts that are either way underfunded and some that may be, I wouldn't say overfunded, but they do get matched grant from their local counties. So,
Well, I was curious with the current volatile situation with the cuts and everything, if we did have funding coming out of the federal to the state, have you heard anything on that? Okay.
no,
I didn't know how big a piece that would play in your,
I'm not concerned about it. I mean, it's the only concern I would ever have is if they try to put all supervision, whether it be juvenile or adult, under one umbrella,
okay.
which has been discussed, you know, and it keeps getting, it comes again up every about 3 years on whether you need OJA, parole, and corrections, if you need all three entities. And if you don't, then how would that look, and how would it be funded, and And so at the end of the day, it always comes out, it's way messy, and
So your funds, some of your funds are federal funds that are distributed by the state, is that correct? Or are they all state funds?
all state funds,
So it doesn't.
So there is no federal funds from the feds to the state to you?
not through these
Okay,
programs.
that's kind of what I was asking, so I want to make sure that we're, thinking in case things get cut, so.
But even if,
No.
even if there were federal funds, this is wasteful spending.
Right, no. It's kind of interesting that you say that.
Hopefully not, yeah.
That's one thing I
It's
would
not.
say, we're a very conservative
it's-
district when it comes to the juvenile program. If you notice, we typically return funds. I mean,
Yeah,
It'd be
So-
different if those funds were going to Africa for something,
right,
but they're coming here to this county.
correct.
and-
They're all
yeah,
within the community.
correct.
Yes, and that's the other thing, is one of the things we do not do at the juvenile level is we do not collect supervision fees of any kind, or even UA fees. We
Right.
have no reimbursement. Whereas,
Just
and
one
that's
signature, one.
that's an actual House bill that's being looked at right now. And where a lot of districts do charge for IIP, ISP, UAs, all kinds of things, and we do not. You guys can,
Oh, you want this?
it's yours for record or whatever you want. And so, again, we won't be touched with that, so it's not, it would not affect us.
right,
I
okay.
just don't see the point in why you would have a juvenile pay for that when we don't use it actually paying. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thanks,
Did
Brooke.
you get it? Okay. I'll be
All right.
back on the next day.
all right, sounds good.
It's good seeing you.
Yep.
In your chair.
Thank you.
All right. Enjoy your
Thanks,
day.
Brooke, appreciate it.
Yep.
Do you think it's interesting that that there was a significant cut to tribe by federal government?
Saw that, not just this one, but all of them.
47 million
Yeah,
to just this one. That's a huge number.
that is. It is, it is.
But anyway, I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting.
Uh-huh.
They're whining.
Rock on.
So we're going to go ahead and send out invitations to the individuals who have applied to come in
Yep.
on the 17th. Call. Yeah. Okay. That would be great.
Can I have that last one? Thank you.
Yeah, we just signed 15 spills on Monday.
Yes. Everybody has the name.
Okay. It's kind of hard to keep track.
I think that's what the parents said.
Makes sense.
Judge.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, y'all look intense.
Always.
Intense? I look more content.
What's that?
I thought I looked more content.
Yeah. So I put a little flair on my vest today.
I see that.
I'm stepping up. I think.
I'm almost jealous, not quite.
And you can't match the coffee. You
I
have to
know.
get a special shirt for that.
I know.
Gotta go train in my taxes.
Okay.
I hate taxes.
Yeah. As
Just-
we all do.
And just as a reminder, property tax is theft. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, it'll come before you then, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I have to enforce the laws.
Understood.
Nope, have no interest.
Okay.
No interest whatsoever.
I attended one of the other ones. They did the public meeting for anybody.
Well, that's what this is, it's from the coffee shop, or is it
Um,
right here? I just was curious, there was an ad in the paper.
Yeah, you can go, you're a member of the public. I went just as a member of the public, not
Well, that's all right.
not representing. the
Right,
application.
that's all, I didn't know if you ever do that or not.
Yeah, I went from one down there. There was a fair amount of people there.
I think it's advertised from about 5:30, 6:30 or something. It's at the coffee shop across the street.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I saw the ad in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't go because I don't want there to be any question before Friday with all the BS like I discussed earlier today.
I just want to go listen to it, just to listen. Heard you know the girl got hurt in that accident? Pardon? I heard it. That's right, I don't remember the person. She's right, she walked. She used to live like that. I got names from everybody.
It's crazy. They never really said how that all happened.
Well, all I know is like the first accident happened with the truck and that two
Is
hit,
that on there?
and then she was in a vehicle that was
Stopped.
and got out,
That's kind of what I was.
in the seat, and then this guy came and he hit the same ice patch and hit her. It was freak things.
Mhm.
still puzzled how it's legal to pick and choose which departments you want to pay attention to, which statutes you want to use, and which ones you want to ignore. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, me either. I think the key's gonna lie with the Attorney General determines whether they are an independent nation. I think they'll see that they are,
Yeah.
and that we're not required to. I would still force the issue by sending a letter stating we don't hold any
Yeah.
treaty or act with you, so therefore we don't recognize you as an independent nation, or we recognize you as an independent nation, but not required to.
Submit to your request.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Make them rules that laws, so that's just my opinion.
Yeah, like I say, from the research that I've done, I don't see that we're gonna have to, but I would still want the opinion from the Attorney General.
Yeah, be nice to have that.
Just doesn't make any sense. we have any further business coming for us today?
Yeah.
I don't. Check with you, Gary.
Before you close, can I have a minute?
Sure.
I sent an email to Kate Friday afternoon, or after 11:10, but I got the wrong email address. I sent it to Kate.Immenschuh instead of Kate Immenschuh. She's usually pretty good about replying. She didn't reply, so I went and saw her this morning when your session was out. And I just wanted to address a point that, by the way, I did apply for the vacancy, but she didn't get it to bring you a copy. I'll send her a corrected email address for it. But I wanted to remind the county that KSA 12-744, paragraph A, states the majority of the members of the County Planning Commission shall reside outside the corporate limits of any incorporated city in the county. You're probably aware of that. I'm just setting the ground. So I look at the constituency of the current commission. And Pruett, Phillips, and Kennedy are all outside the city limits. Lake, Weimer, and Abernathy are in the city limits. So it's 3 and 3 with 3 vacancies. Now, I remember a few months ago, there was some entertaining meetings, for lack of a better word, where 2 guys from Lawrence came over here and caused a lot of grief. You know, I don't know what the purpose was. I just knew the gentleman through attending these meetings like you. But they were told that they could not speak in front of this commission because they were not tax-paying citizens of Jackson County. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That was in our rules.
Good. I'm glad. So, if a non-tax-paying citizen cannot speak because they have no interest in the development or whatever Jackson County is doing because they're not a tax-paying citizen, then how is it that we can have a planning member sitting on a board when he's not a tax-paying citizen? I'm just curious. Because Chris Abernathy does not own any property or pay taxes in Jackson County. He rents a property on 510 Vermont from Todd and Jacqueline Kyle. And really shouldn't be allowed to have a seat on board because he's not a tax-paying citizen. I was just curious.
Is he a citizen of Jackson County?
Is he a tax-paying
Is
citizen?
he a citizen? I'm not going to get into a big debate with you. I'm asking you a simple question.
Well, I guess he rents property, but
Is he a citizen of
I
Jackson
would assume
County?
so. I would assume so.
Well, I would not assume so if he's living in the county,
Right,
he's a
right.
resident of Jackson County.
Right.
So for the planning board, enough said.
Okay. All right.
My opinion.
Yeah. I never looked up the requirements for membership or being a taxpayer or just a plain citizen. I'm not arguing the point, but I just thought it was kind of a ground rule. If a person couldn't speak in this meeting because they're not a taxpaying citizen, then how could any person set up a subservient board?
Sure. And I'm just going to say my personal opinion right now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to hear the kind of stuff that was coming from the 2 gentlemen that you're referring to, okay?
Okay, I am.
Okay? I mean, I'm just putting that out there plain, pure, and simple. I
Sure.
don't need to hear that. If all they're going to come in here and do is curse at us and tell us how stupid we are, I don't need to hear it. I already know how stupid I am. I don't need to hear it from them.
Yeah.
If they're not going to be a productive member of society, I don't want to hear it.
Right. Okay, well, I assume everybody else agrees the same. Okay, that's fine. Well, I just wanted to bring it in to your attention for consideration.
Because I think anybody involved in developing Jackson County should have a stakeholder's interest in being a property owner or a tax-paying citizen of the county. That's my personal opinion. Because when you make an investment and buy property, you have a commitment in your own resources, you know, so it gives you a stronger voice than somebody who's renting, and 2 months from now, they could be in Missouri, you know. They don't have that same long-term interest for people like us.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I would advise that you have Kate come down with the bylaws, let's just settle this. If the bylaws
No,
don't indicate, then.
That's fine.
then
Could
I-
you give Katie a call,
We
please?
can move ahead, because I don't want to continue a conversation that is,
You can
Not
say
making
it,
it
ain't trouble. If
You
you
know what, we'll
all
just
decide that, I'm fine with it. I
Just
just
get it
want
all
to
straightened out right now. I
Yeah.
mean, what you just said is kind of ludicrous, because if somebody moves out of the county, don't care if they're rent, bought, whatever, then they wouldn't be eligible to be a member of the planning commission anyway.
make sure she brings her copy of the bylaws.
So, let's take the other side of it. What if they owned property in Jackson County but lived in Loveland, Colorado? Could they be sitting on the border? No.
Again,
They're paying taxes.
Mr. Chair, until
Let's
we
get
get the
this settled,
bylaws.
I mean, my opinion, that's my opinion is no.
Yeah.
Let's get this settled,
I'm
we'll
not
get
sure
the
they're-
bylaws down, we'll get it handled, we'll get it settled.
I'm not sure they're addressed in the bylaws, but I haven't looked into the Kansas statutes either.
And we could get, we can get the planning commission to
Sure.
adjust their bylaws.
She's on,
Okay.
Thank you.
she's on the phone, but Jamie will tell her. Here's the rules as far as conduct at commissioners' meetings. You were kind of referencing it's in that area right there.
I believe I have that.
It has a few different types of
Mhm.
criteria.
In your bylaws, is there anything that states about residency in the county?
Just as being a resident.
Well, there you go.
That's taken out.
Well, Linda just found something here that I think will answer that question that you brought up, especially since you brought up KSA 12-744, the following people being a resident of Jackson County, because it says in accordance with that statute, following people being a resident of Jackson County. So I'm going to guess in that statute that it says you have to be a resident of the county that you are applying to the planning commission. But it would be kind of an oxymoron to appoint somebody from Shawnee County to be a planning commission member in Jackson County, or somebody from Loveland, Colorado to be a member of the planning commission in Jackson County. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just concerned that they'd be a taxpaying citizen.
It does.
Are you gonna get into semantics?
No, I'm just
So it
saying.
doesn't say that right here. The rules of this commission
Mhm.
say that. Not the planning commission, which is what you're questioning. Correct?
Say that again?
The commission rules, I'm not sure what the planning commission rules are, because there's a separate set of rules for those.
Right,
This commission has established rules
right.
that if you want to sit there and speak to us, that you be a tax-paying member of Jackson County,
Yeah, okay, I agree with that.
okay?
Your rules
Unless
are-
you have official business with the county. Those two did not have official business with the county other than to come up here and curse the three of us out,
I understand.
okay?
Mhm. That's in front of this commission, which is a higher authority than the planning board. And you use the words tax-paying citizen. Chris Abernathy is not a tax-paying citizen, and he's on a subservient board to your authority.
It's not required, and you understand that. It's not a requirement that you be a tax, or own property and tax. It is only a requirement.
That you just be a citizen.
A resident.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're a resident of Jackson County.
And we're talking
That's
about
all
two
we
different,
want.
Steve, we're talking about two different things. You're applying it to him being on board. The rules that we're using to apply to speak before board.
Yes,
Two
yes.
different things.
Okay.
You understand that, correct?
Oh, yeah, I understand,
Correct.
right. But I'm just questioning, like I just stated, if you're the authority for Jackson County, and you have to be a tax-paying citizen to be recognized by this body, then why wouldn't a subservient board have that same requirement
Because we're following
to your
Kansas
authority?
statute, we're following the Kansas statute,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
That Kansas statute has nothing to do with this body, as far as who can speak before.
Well, I think there are some rules.
I
and
didn't
statutes.
say some rules, I said the statute that
Yeah.
you referred to, that is referred to right there,
Agree.
okay? Yeah, so we're in agreement with that, right?
Right.
Okay,
All right. Well, I wasn't questioning your rules of resolution. It just seemed if you held that standard at this level of authority, that any subservient board below you would have that same standard.
well, then you're incorrect.
Okay. Guess we're at impasse.
Yep.
All right.
All right,
Well,
thank you,
for
Steve,
your time.
appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you for finding that, Linda. I do appreciate that.
None of the statute itself.
Well, it's
Yeah.
this sheet that we sign with the board members, it states the statute, that's what it reads, but
Is that in the bylaw?
see this,
No, okay.
it's right up there, and it has the statute back with it.
744A or B.
12-744.
In addition.
Oh, the whole
owners of
statute.
real
Okay,
property in the
right,
county
not that
subject
part.
to property
All right.
taxation may be placed on the agenda. So it's not like you have to.
Okay. In answer to your question, Tara, would you read that to him, please?
It says, persons who wish to be placed on the agenda of any meeting for comment must be current qualified electors of Jackson County, Kansas, with a residence or domicile in the county so as to establish their eligibility. In addition, owners of real property in the county subject to property taxation may be placed on the agenda. Production of proof of voting registration in the county, a property tax receipt, notice, or acknowledgement of status by the county clerk shall be sufficient to allow for placement on an agenda.
And that's to speak before this body. I
Yeah.
understand that. But would he have to provide a notice
It
of
says
the
domicile, it does
receipt
not,
of taxation?
it does not say domicile, it says domicile in the county. It does not say tax domicile in the county.
No, but read that part again about showing a ID and a receipt.
You can prove by using voter registration, which you would not have to be a property owner.
Right.
That just proves you reside here.
Oh, in the word or any.
It's like two separate things.
Okay.
You can live here and be a qualified elector, or you can be a property owner, or you can have business.
So then put that to bed right there. All right,
Agreed.
perfect.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
That's how Ryan interpreted it.
Perfect. All right.
I have the statute, and I was just trying to find.
Sure.
Anything else from me?
Can't think of anything. That was a quick, I told you we'd get you back down here.
Well, you didn't even need me.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, is there any further business before this commission thing? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passed.